Hi, I'm Robin Gully.
I'm John Justin.
We are your council reps for Ward 2 in West St. Paul, here to give you the council recap.
Yeah, sorry it's been a little while. Things happen, but we are back.
Yeah, it's been summer.
In the usual cursing way, this will be quick, but this actually will be quick because it was a really short meeting. We didn't have open council work session.
We
didn't have any economic development authority. So it's just a council meeting, 2 things on the agenda. We're going to get there. So let's see.
Do you want to start with community comments?
Yeah, we had a couple of people come in and talk about sidewalks on Christian Avenue, right by the Early Learning Center and a lot of apartments down there. And I think we were able to respond. We don't always respond, and just kind of give them the comfort of like, oh yeah, we're putting sidewalks there because we're actively putting, as you probably know, we're trying to get sidewalks where we can. Mm-hmm. It's going to happen when they do the road reconstruction. It's an efficiency thing. It makes sense, but I think they left happy to know that this was already on our radar, because sometimes it isn't on the radar of city officials until somebody screams about it. But yeah, we're trying to be proactive on this stuff and get those sidewalks there before people have to come and complain about it.
And actually, I could just add that we have a bike and pedestrian plan that we've been working our way through for a long time. Mm-hmm. And it includes not just sidewalks, but which you'll see, and we try to do them in the least invasive way possible. So every time we're doing road reconstruction, we're looking at, can we add sidewalks in places where we need them? But we've also been adding a lot of like bike trails and things like that. It's slower than I wish. We live on the northern side of town, and there's still not like great connections to get from the north side of town to the south part of town. But it's something that we're working on every single year, and every single year it gets better. And
it's an evolving process. It kind of has to be. You can't just drop sidewalks everywhere you want to. I wish we could, but we're undoing many, many years of car-centric culture to something that's not like that anymore as much. And so it's going to take a little bit of time, but we've made huge progress in the last decade.
Yes, we have.
For sure.
And I will say, and this is a throwback to a few weeks ago, but I went on the West St. Paul Rider and found like trails that I didn't really know existed. Yeah. And we went on an 18-mile bike ride all the way around the city of West St. Paul. And so we've made like a huge amount of progress.
But still more to do.
But still more to do. So.
Always more to do.
And anytime you have feedback about it, we love to hear it. Anytime you're like, when are you coming to my neighborhood and putting in a sidewalk or a bike trail, we would love to hear that. That's something that you care about. So, and bike lockup stations are another thing that we're like, talking about a lot this summer.
Yep. And then the other comment, not council comment, was regarding ash trees, dead ash trees, ash borer. This is an important thing. I think people sometimes don't realize that if you don't treat those trees, you're not just hurting your own tree, you are enabling these nasty little awful insects to survive and thrive in the area. And so I'd really encourage everybody, if you have ash trees, I know that it's an expense. We're working on getting some funding for it. The city obviously is doing it all over on any of our trees. But it's, I hate to use the it takes a village thing, but it kind of does. If you have an ash tree that you're not treating, or a dead ash tree that could be harboring these, it does flow from there into neighboring ash trees. And the only way to really slow this or stop it is to continually push back against it once you start letting it go. So I think that was a useful comment. Staff's going to come back to us with some information about that at a future meeting.
And in fact, this is really worthwhile for folks to know. If you have a dead ash tree in your yard, our city staff are going around and they're going to be sending notices to people saying basically like, you have to take down the tree or we're going to take it down.
Yeah, if it's of any public safety issue, then that's it's got to get taken care of.
Because otherwise these dead trees can fall on things, can fall on people, can be a real safety hazard.
Yep, absolutely. And if you get one of those notices and you're concerned about it, or there's a cost problem or whatever, please reach out to city staff. We really are not sending these things out to scare people or yell at people or intimidate people. We are just trying to get it on your radar. We want to help work with you. We'll do what we can to do whatever we can to help you out on it. So like, don't hesitate if you have a hardship and you have one of these notices for a tree, call into the city, talk to somebody. We're not here to be bullies at all. We're here to help, and we'll do what we can to help.
Yeah, and in fact, like we sometimes are able to connect people, either like help with ways to pay for it, or connect people with nonprofits and stuff in the community that will help with these things.
Yep.
So really, truly, if it is a hardship and that's the reason that you're not able to take care of it,
We'll do everything we can to help.
We'll do everything we can to work with you on it. So, all right, then we just, so we went into council comments, and the number one thing that came up in council comments was how great our West St. Paul Pride was. And this event is spearheaded by our own Wendy Berry, who puts, I can't imagine like countless hours into this every single year. It's the third year and it grows every year. And it's just a fantastic event. We had so many people come from all over the metro area, and it's just a super family-friendly event. Shout out to our rep, Maria Isa, who played awesome music for folks at the Pride event. I stood up there and gave out hot dogs for free for like 4.5 hours, which was honestly just the best thing ever, because we got to talk to everybody who came by, and it just like feels like a really nice thing when it's just not, it's really not about like consumerism or anything. It's about like getting together with the community and supporting everyone in our community. So this is a super positive event that just gets better every single year.
Yep. And then I mentioned welcoming a new business to town. So you may have seen that Cherokee Service has their sign down. And that's because John and I have been going to Cherokee Service forever, and I could not think of a better service station, although we have other wonderful ones. I'm not saying that about anybody else, but I'm very comfortable there. Sold to Turbo Tim's Automotive. They've been around for a while. They started in Northeast Minneapolis. They added a St. Paul Midway location, and we're now their third location. I went to their website, took a look. They're super community involved. Like it's a focus of their website, more so almost than the automotive, is their interest in community engagement and community events, and all the organizations they participate with. It's really cool. They will have cats. Apparently that's a thing. They have cats in every one of their things. They have shop cats, which will make my kid try to break my car, so we go there more frequently probably. But and I went in. I just stopped by today and met who I think was Tim, and just a super nice guy. And like I said in the council meeting, if John, I have known John for quite a while. If John's going to vouch for somebody, I guarantee you they're going to carry on the same sort of service that Cherokee has been providing for so long. And so I'm excited, and up in the 40 acres, things are happening in the 40 acres.
Well, and I just want to echo that and say thank you so much to Cherokee Automotive and to John, who's been running that business forever.
Yeah.
We have had so many car repairs there, and they've just been amazing. And I know that Turbo Tim is going to be fantastic.
Yeah, I think it's going to transition to very much the same approach as we've seen before.
But we've been so lucky to have Cherokee.
Yep. So thank them for many years, and welcome to Turbo Tim's Automotive.
Yeah. All right, now we're to the two things that we had on the agenda. So the first one was a public hearing on assessment for Robert Street sidewalk snow removal, which actually you had quite a bit to say about.
Yeah. And so we currently do that between Butler and the south end, and then north of Butler is still property owner based. This year was rough. As you may remember, there was a lot of snow, and billing is according to the amount of snow. So it's probably a higher number than people are accustomed to, but it really does amortize over all the properties. And I think it does honestly save versus hiring an independent snow removal thing or whatever. There was some discussion, Councilperson Arman brought it up, and then I kind of joined in on it, about looking at whether maybe we do need to examine moving north from Butler, because we have had, particularly this year, more than our fair share of complaints about certain spots on the north end where it was impassable. And obviously you can't walk on Robert Streets, and there are a lot of pedestrians. My business is up there. I see how many pedestrians are out there. And so I think that's something we'll be talking about. And obviously we want to be fair, and we want to hear from the property owners up there. But it also is, and I've seen this myself, I mean, it's not that people are necessarily neglectful. The street is much wider. The gap between the street and the buildings, particularly, I mean, my building, you literally can see where the snow, when the big snowplow comes through, hitting like 8 feet up on the side of the building, which of course now you're carving through that. It's tough. And if we had a dedicated snow removal that was prepared for all of those things, I think it's something worth looking at. It's certainly not a done deal or a decision that's been made, but I think it's time that we actually looked at maybe expanding that, and I think we're going to be talking about that. It sounded like probably in the next 2 or 3 meetings that'll come up in front of a work session. So,
and that's something that we've definitely brought up.
Yeah.
For the last couple.
And it would
of
be nice
years
to
at
do it
least,
in July when everybody isn't thinking about snow, rather than trying to fast track it in the fall and throwing people surprises. So I think we'll be talking about it soon, and we'll see where it develops.
Yeah, and again, this is the kind of thing that, like, if you have thoughts or ideas or things that you'd like to propose, or if you're like, we need more sidewalk, more snow removal in more of the city or whatever, like, reach out. We love to hear your thoughts on this. And it is a big deal. It's a big public safety issue and a big accessibility thing too.
Yep.
So finally, we just had a quick little ordinance, an interim ordinance on cannabis. Really wasn't much to talk about, but as you know, cannabis is fully legal as of August 1st, and we've been doing a lot of work over the last year. This is what the 10th time you've heard us talking about.
Can't even imagine.
Yes.
I couldn't tally it if I tried.
No. And so this is just like a little ordinance to carry us through from here to August 1st, because obviously the state law is changing.
And then there's going to be this weird gap where the legalization occurs. There's going to take time to set up the way that it's going to be implemented with the state board and whatever. So some of this also is so that we don't get into a situation where we have businesses popping up that may not legally be able to exist. There may be, so right now we're just doing, it's kind of a moratorium. It's on growth from where we're at right now, with the exception of a couple changes that were brought in by the law at the point of the governor's signature. So this also gives us time to really figure out, how many will there be, all of the things that go into this as legalization moves forward. So it's not by in any way a statement on what our total plan is going to be. We just need time, and we've got the time because you will not actually see dispensaries appearing for probably at least a year.
Yeah,
I think
a year is when.
And there'll be a lot of information that's changing. This lets us not have a situation where we're pulling licenses, we're doing weird things, we need to see what the actual lay of the land is once the board gets together and starts establishing the real deep down nitty gritty rules of how this is going to be implemented. And this gives us the chance to do that without constant turmoil as we're trying to figure out how to do it best. So that's where we're at.
We are lucky in a way that we have been talking about this for the last for the last year.
There are cities that are getting very blindsided by this right now because they have not done the aggravating and slow-moving work that we have put a lot of time into, and our staff even more so. So I think we're in a good spot, as good a spot as we can possibly be right now for getting this implementation done right. So
and that's it.
That's it.
Oh, Night to Unite is on the same day as cannabis legalization, August 1st.
Yep, so there's an application on the city website. Please do fill that out. We'd like to know where they are.
Yes. And in all seriousness, the application on the website takes like literally 3 minutes to fill out.
Pretty quick. It's a little hard to find. If nothing else, just search Night to Unite in the top bar, and I think the first drop down will lead you to the application. So,
but the city will come right out and give you the barricades for your street, so you can block off your street if you ask for them, which is really nice. Makes it like a much more pedestrian friendly event.
And the more events, the merrier. It'd be great if every block had one.
We'll try to get out to as many of your events as we can. So,
All right.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.